Okay. We should be live now. Um, hope this is showing up. Are we live? If we are live, I would really like my internet not working. All right, just all right. Hey, Werner von Kerman, how are you today? There's actually two launches that are about to. Ah, there's going to be two launches today, and I thought, why not cover them, for the first time in ever on my channel. I thought I probably should have this and pull it over here so I can get the streams up. Pulling up the Roscosmos thing. I guess they're not publicizing their launch, but they are doing one in just a couple of minutes. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna be launching what watching a Starlink Group 5 and a Soyuz mission. Although I don't think we'll be able to see the Soyuz mission, so that's probably not what we're going to be watching. See if we can get a live stream up in any way, shape, or form other than the mission control audio. I'll have the mission control audio playing. Granted, there's literally none right now. I think I should probably change the title. Here we go. It's fuck it. And grab that. Perfect. That is the thumbnail. Oh man, that is a terrible thumbnail, but this is what it will be. All right, that's what it is. There we go. That's the name of. Oh, current stream bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you stream. Don't. Okay, it just says that it's fine now. So I'll just continue to say it's fine. Right then. I think in the future I'll be able to do something a little bit better than this. But, you know, you never know. Oh, hello, Solar Wind. Um, let me see if I can pull up.
Engine chill has started.
Okay, so engine chill has started. That means we're what, like 7 minutes out from the it means that we're pretty close to the actual launch. Let's see if I can pull up. Ah, here it is. SpaceX is starting up their live stream. Let me. Here we go. All right. This will look weird for a second, but it'll be fixed. All right. Get sound. No. There we go. Now we get a little bit of background music too. All right.
Launch trajectory and countdown net pad is clear.
10, 9, 8,
Launch auto sequence has started.
6, 5, 4,
All right.
3,
Here's
2,
the thing.
Go for launch.
And I'll actually show my face.
Vehicle is supersonic. Stage separation confirmed. Dragon separation confirmed. Stage
Yeah.
1 is transonic. Landing legs have deployed. And Falcon 9 has landed.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Atticus Federa, and
Oh.
I'm a propulsion engineer here at SpaceX. I'll be your host for today's Starlink mission,
Tesla
which
hat.
marks SpaceX's 21st launch of the year and 220th overall mission to date.
And let's see if I can get this camera a little bit more
Falcon
so.
9 rocket at
So-
Space Launch Complex 40 in Florida.
Oh,
T
my
minus 4
face.
minutes and 45 seconds. The range is green
Oh.
and ready to support, and weather is also looking good. The teams are currently tracking no issues
There
with
I
the vehicle
am.
or with the spacecraft.
Yes, I am in a
Coming up
closet.
shortly, you should see those clamp arms beginning to open up just below the fairing halves there.
Strong mag lower has started.
There you go.
The strong back, or TE, transporter erector, as
So,
it's sometimes
basically
referred
what's
to,
going to
is that
happen
truss structure you see
is,
supporting the vehicle.
I will
You can see those
walk
clamp
out
arms opening up now.
during the time of the actual.
After they open up completely, you will see that strong back move away from the rocket.
And maybe one day I'll actually put a camera out on my deck. So
The strong
you can
back
actually
is the
see it.
structure we use to support the vehicle in its horizontal position in the
As
hangar.
of right now,
The strong back also helps us roll the vehicle out to the pad and raise
can't
it to its
bring
vertical
this camera
position.
with me. It's kind of stuck where it is.
In addition to structural support, the strong
Yeah.
back also provides fluid and power connections through the umbilicals. As you can see there, that strong back is beginning to lean away from the vehicle in preparation for liftoff. Coming up next at about T-minus 3 minutes, we should hear that stage 1 has completed liquid oxygen loading. Teams began loading propellant on the vehicle at about T-minus 35 minutes. As you can imagine, it takes quite a while to load 1 million pounds of liquid oxygen and RP1.
All right, when it hits
Loading
startup,
these
I'll be
propellants
walking
quickly
outside.
is just one of the many ways that SpaceX has optimized the
And
process of launching
that
payloads into
is,
space.
What I
Stage
will
1
be
launch
doing.
float is complete.
And with that, the Falcon 9 first stage is fully loaded with RP1 and liquid oxygen. We're just awaiting the completion of liquid oxygen loading on the second stage. Should be closing out liquid oxygen loading on the second stage in around 45 seconds at T-minus 2 minutes. Looks like quite a nice day down there in Florida. Should be getting some good views of the ascent and landing phases of our launch today. You can see the periodic venting of the cold gas in the area just above the tanks. When that gas contacts the moist Florida air, the water in the air condenses, forming those cloud formations.
All right, we're almost into startup, which is a pretty good sign. Well, I mean, this craft, it's a beautiful day outside right now. So there's no way that it won't.
There we just heard that
launch.
Stage 2 has wrapped up oxygen loading. With that, the Falcon 9 vehicle is fully loaded with 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid
It's
oxygen.
going to.
Now this booster or first stage that you
It's
see
gonna
on
be
your
a fun
screen
time.
is
You
flying
can
for the
just look
4th time
outside.
today, having previously supported
Ground
Crew
gas
5,
closeouts has started.
GPS 3 Space Vehicle 6, and Inmarsat I-6F2. After liftoff and stage separation, this booster is scheduled to land on our drone ship. Just read the instructions, which you can see on your screen now. Coming up next, we should hear a call out over the nets updating us that Falcon 9 is in startup. This means that the internal flight computers have taken over control of the launch countdown.
So yeah, we'll be
Falcon 9 is in
seeing
startup.
this for right now.
Good news there, the vehicle
I will
is in
go
startup.
outside
In a
and I
few
will
seconds,
watch
we
it,
should
and I
hear our
will,
launch director or LD give the
guys
final go for
in.
launch.
There's the volume all the way up for you.
SpaceX launch director, go for launch.
And with that, we are go to proceed with our launch today. So let's sit back and watch as Falcon 9 takes our 56 Starlink satellites into space.
T-minus 30 seconds of counting. T-minus 15 seconds of counting. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, liftoff.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
At T plus 33 seconds, Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 in Cape Canaveral, Florida at 4:01 p.m. Eastern Time. Next major milestone coming up is max Q, which is the point where the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of external stresses as it ascends through the atmosphere.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
Just ahead of max Q, we do throttle down the M1D engines briefly to reduce the loads on the vehicle.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Max Q.
And at this point, we have throttled those Merlin 1D engines back up to full power to continue to boost our way into orbit. Now we're about 1 minute away from a very exciting portion of our flight. We have a series of back-to-back events. Those are MECO, or main engine cutoff,
Engine chill has started.
So
stage separation, second engine
looks
start
successful
1,
so far.
and
I
then
haven't
after that we have
heard
fairing
anything.
separation. MECO is
see
when
it
we shut
pretty
down
well
all 9 of those
from my
Merlin 1D
apartment.
engines on the first stage. Stage separation is when we physically separate the first and second stages from each other. And second engine start 1 is when we light that single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage. And when we separate the fairings, you will get a good view of those 56 Starlink satellites on our payload.
Vehicle is following a nominal trajectory.
Go back to here. Hello.
Got some great views here of the first stage ascent.
That's a hard pitch. Just pitched over quite a bit just then.
Main engine cut off.
All right, there goes Miko.
Stage separation confirmed.
Goes. Yeah, so if I were to go outside
And
right now, I could actually still see.
And as you just
this
heard
right
and
here.
saw over the nets,
What's that?
we had successful main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start 1. Coming up shortly, we will be
Fairing
separating
separation confirmed.
those two fairing halves, and there they go. You can see those Starlink satellites now exposed to the vacuum of space. We will be attempting to recover those fairing
fairing.
halves today on our recovery vessel, Bob. Both of those fairing halves are supporting today's mission for the 7th time. On the left side of your screen is a view of the first stage, with the second stage and its Merlin vacuum engine continuing to burn on the right. You'll notice in that stage 1 telemetry that we are actually still coasting upwards.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
We will continue to gain a little bit
Pretty
of
good.
altitude as we slow down on the first stage before we reach the peak of the first stage's trajectory. At this point, the first stage will then start to accelerate back down towards the Earth to our drone ship that is waiting in the Atlantic Ocean.
All right. Pretty solid. Solid.
The MVAC engine attached to the second stage is continuing its burn. This should last about another 4.5 minutes or so. You can see periodic puffs of gas coming off of the
We're
first
probably
stage.
about,
This is our attitude control system.
Probably about a minute.
we are
Acquisition signal,
from,
Bermuda.
When we are above the
landing.
atmosphere, there's nothing to react against, so we
2
must
minutes away
use
from
high-pressured
landing.
gas to reorient the vehicle. Currently, we are slowly flipping the stage to point those M1D engines in the direction we are traveling. And this is so that when we relight the engines ahead of
Believe
entry
what you
burn,
just
we
saw
will
right
slow
there,
the
some of
vehicle down.
Bahamas.
You can
Bahamas
see the
is
first
Both
good.
vehicles
stage.
continue to follow nominal trajectories.
The first stage now continuing to accelerate down towards Earth, and we are decreasing the first stage's altitude.
It's always great when you can kind of like see things.
As a reminder, Starlink is a
Things
satellite
going.
internet constellation designed and manufactured by SpaceX to provide high-speed, low-latency internet to people living all around the world, as well as remote and rural locations. As I mentioned earlier, today's Starlink mission marks SpaceX's 220th mission overall and our 21st mission just this year. Those 220 missions include all Falcon 9s, Falcon Heavies, and Falcon 1s. Coming up next in the mission is entry burn on the first stage. That's the first of 2 burns that the stage will go through
Wow.
prior to landing.
Point we had viewers.
This burn helps reduce the vehicle's
Oh.
velocity as it re-enters the thicker parts of the Earth's atmosphere. Should be starting up engine 1, 5, and 9 for that entry burn in around 10 seconds.
Watch this thing land.
Stage
It's
1
gonna do the
FTS is
entry
saved.
burn.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
There's that call out for stage 1 entry burn. As you can see, we are now slowing down the vehicle for atmospheric re-entry. This burn lasts around 20 seconds, so we should be wrapping up here shortly.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down. Stage 2 FTS is saved.
There's that call out for stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Both vehicles continue to follow nominal trajectories.
All right, so that one's currently making its way through.
Looks
the
like we did just briefly lose stage 1 telemetry. This is pretty
Uh,
common for this point in the flight. Stage 2 continues to accelerate towards low Earth orbit. You can see just how fast we are accelerating now. We still need to reach about 27,000 kilometers per hour in order to reach orbital velocity.
Did you see that? That peeled off the top right there. Probably ice, but it's kind of funny.
As you can see, we did
Stage 1
just
transonic.
regain signal to stage 1,
All right.
and
Here's
stage 1
stage one
has
coming
just
in.
passed through transonic
Hot.
speeds. Coming up in about 20 seconds will be the beginning of stage 1 landing burn. In preparation for touchdown on our drone ship, just read the instructions. The landing burn utilizes the single E9 Merlin 1D engine. Just starting to see that drone ship way below the rocket
Stage
there.
2 is entered.
Oh yeah,
terminal
yeah. You
guidance.
can see it. It's right here in the grid fence. There it is.
Stage 1 landing burn.
There's confirmation stage 1 landing burn has started in preparation for touchdown.
Let's see
Should
it.
be seeing those landing legs deploy soon.
Landing leg deploy.
Ooh. It's hot. There it is.
Stage
All
1
right, it
landing
landed.
confirmed.
There we go. This Falcon 9 first stage has now successfully launched and landed for the 4th time. Coming up in just a few seconds is the end of the second engine burn.
All right. Yeah. So
MVAC shut down.
second engine cutoff. That's where I'll leave it today. Yeah. Thank you for coming. You know,
We did
Tim?
just shut down the second engine,
You
waiting on
watch
confirmation
this
of good orbit.
in the future.
Nominal orbit
You
insertion.
enjoyed it. Don't know why you're
And there it
watching.
is. With that, today's landing marks our 182nd overall landing of an orbital
Have
class
fun.
rocket.
Expect loss of signal, Cape.
That includes Falcon 9 and
Have a
Falcon
good
Heavy
day.
missions. With confirmation of successful second engine cutoff and nominal orbital insertion.